John here from Freedom Pharma. Today I want to talk about asthma. And if you look anywhere online and ask about asthma, or, there's the asthma foundations that are basically there to raise money for, research for asthma and such. Asthma, there is no cure. As a matter of fact, what they always say is you can live a healthy life by managing your symptoms. And typically, if you know people with asthma, you see them puffing on their corticosteroid inhalers, and that's just the way they get through life. One thing that's very interesting about asthma, for the most part, most people were not born with asthma. They get it later on in life, in their teen years or whatever. And so you ask, and again, nobody asks this question. Why all of a sudden did you come down with asthma? Oh, it's because all of a sudden it was spring and there was allergies and dust in the air and who knows what. Yeah, I don't know. There was dust in the air the year before and the year before that. And you didn't get asthma then. My argument is that I think something probably changed within you that caused that problem. And you stop and think, what could change within you that could cause the problem? Well, your body's pretty well fixed. Nothing much can change there. But one thing you've got is a gut microbiome. And it's in flux all the time. There's good, bad bacteria, there's bad bacteria, and they're always growing and changing and morphing into who knows what. And I would bet that most people who have got a chronic illness, if they think back, did you do something or did something happen when a couple of months before you all of a sudden came down with that chronic illness? And I always typically say, did you take an antibiotic at that time? Because that's one of the perfect things for disturbing the full gut flora in your gut. It doesn't cause a lot of people that problem, but 25 million North Americans have got asthma, and something caused it. And nobody ever looks at what potentially caused it. Well, we're saying that we think that the gut caused it. And I think, and we've seen some evidence of it, that we can actually alter the gut. What we make is oral dose antibodies. Oral dose antibodies, nobody knows about it. We're the only people in the world that actually do it. You may have heard of antibodies. Obviously, you've heard of antibodies through the COVID vaccines and getting COVID, and your own immune system is supposed to produce antibodies against viral and bacterial infections. And there are actually another type of antibody called monoclonal antibodies, and we're just talking about in another video about a drug called Humira, which is for treating rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease. It works pretty well, $76,000 US per patient per year. Very expensive. Antibodies are antibodies. They work to do something. Typically take out, as a matter of fact, what they say is it's produced and used by the immune system to identify and neutralize pathogenic bacteria and viruses, and maybe anything else that's not supposed to be in your body. Anyway, we make antibodies. We think we can solve your asthma problem, and I'm not going to say cure it because, man, if I say that, I'll end up in jail. But how about trying gut fix? And by the way, this is the only thing I take at all. I'm on no other medications at all. And we've had probably a half a dozen people completely eliminate their asthma. Now, I'm not going to suggest it was something that they took, that we produced, and it wasn't intended to get rid of asthma. It's just something they found because we did alter something in their gut, which is what these antibodies do, because that's what they're doing. They're going directly for your gut microbiome, and, well, guess what? Your asthma's gone. Anyway, John here for Freedom Pharma.